Hello! Right. Oh, God. Morning, morning, morning. Oh, let's close up shop here. Go. Curtains. Should we open the curtains? I think we should open. Well, we open the blinds. Lovely. It is. It is horrible outside. It is cold. There's like a drizzling rain. Oh, it's going to be terrible. I got an afternoon sheeting over a garden for a person that doesn't live there anymore. So that's going to be a. It's going to be fun. Going to have to dig me rain mac out. Or to be honest, being the UK, I shouldn't really have to dig it out. It should be a 24-hour option. So cool. Right. So yeah. Good morning. This is a very early stream. It's 9:55 here in the UK. Can I not donate either? If you want to give you, well, there are some Twitch panels down in the bottom if you would like to be so generous. I can't sway you either or either way. It's your money. So. But yeah, that's yeah. We're going to be doing a little bit of the old sub-G, the old hashtag sub-G, good stuff. So yeah, got a lot of people rolling in from all of the auto hosts all over, from left and right, up and down, sort of kicking in there. I don't have auto host turned on for anybody in like just at all actually. I'd much rather hand you off to somebody that I know. Say for example, I don't know. Let's take for example here Smeagol. Great guy, top quality stuff, but I don't know whether I would, after a long dark stream, pass you on to him, or whether if we were playing Cold Waters and Mr. Jive Turkey was on, I'd maybe pass you over to him for a bit more cold, that kind of. I like to choose, rather than, based on whatever. So like, it's one of those ones. So I hope we've all had a good morning so far. My auto host is you as top priority. Thank you very much, Alex. So. Cool, yeah. So we had a few people sort of lurking around in the Discord. That's going well. I think I'll be choosing moderators for those at some point today. Don't actually know when, but one of those ones we'll decide on it later. Just people who know a little bit about Discord and stuff like that know how to set it up, because I don't have a fucking clue as to what to do. I've just about managed to create my own role called Daddy Bear. That's about it. That's all I managed to suss out thus far. So, yeah, that's fair enough. The Southeast Queensland represent. Good man. Right, let's play some boat game. Play the old sub-G. A game that I did play last night that got absolutely slated on release, but the developers are stuck with it. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how it's become. Is a Warhammer 40,000 game called Space Hulk Deathwing. If you actually go on Steam, it's got mixed recent reviews and mixed overall reviews, and you can understand that because of how bad the release was. The release was like bad, like the definition of appalling. And the problem is with that is that it looks like the developer wasn't given enough time to actually develop the game. Like the publisher went, release it now in whatever state it is. We want the money from the game. You've been developing it for a few years. Get it out. And it wasn't ready. It just wasn't ready. The game's been released for about, I want to say a year, maybe a bit less than that. Maybe less than that. Maybe like 8 months, 9 months. And yeah, it's absolutely. Maybe 11 months, but it's come a long way since its release. It's getting what I understand is going to be a very large multiplayer-oriented content patch, not like a bug fix, although there will be bug fixes in it. There always are, but like a very decent content patch, which is meant to give us some reason to play multiplayer. At the minute, it's kind of just like a very sort of bolt and nail sort of shoot 'em sort of. Like, I don't know, dungeon crawler kind of thing, and it's actually very intense. They've changed it up a little bit on the sort of, everything feels a bit more gritty now, and you really feel like fucking you're having to fight like really properly, it's real tooth and nail kind of fighting. I actually really like it, how they're going sort of in that direction with it. There's a couple of things that need fixing. I feel like the Space Marines heavy plasma thing that they attach to the Terminator armor, the red and blue. I don't know. The big red one, basically. That doesn't feel. It has a lot of punch, but it doesn't feel like it has a lot of punch. In that regard, the weapon feedback isn't great. But that's only from the short game I played before. But literally everything else, they changed the way the hordes and stuff spawn. So rather than coming at you in one big wave and you just slaying out of them, they kind of trickle into you. and it takes ages to clear the whole horde kind of thing, and it means you have to cover every angle for a good amount of time, and you're constantly switching corners, rotating, somebody coming over and covering you while you reload, and then they get too close and you go wham with your power fist and you blow his head apart like a fucking grapefruit or something. It's absolutely brilliant. I like where they're going with it, but again, we'll see what it's like after the content patch. Still not many people playing it because it's, I don't know, lesser known how it's sort of been getting on, because the developer for some reason doesn't release much information about, like, isn't very active on social media, so shall we say. So all of the little content patches or all of the little micro patches that they've been doing to improve the continuity and the longevity of the game have gone basically unnoticed by anyone that doesn't boot it up to give it a second chance. If you don't actually play the game, you have no idea of what state the game is in. Do I recommend it in its current state? No, not at the moment. I don't recommend it in its current state, although it's definitely worth getting if it's on sale. If you can get it for anything less than full price, absolutely, because it is something that the turd has been polished to a golden sheen at the moment. It's getting a lot better. So yeah, anyway, that's Space. I was pleasantly surprised with it. I was actually going to play some Invisible Ink this morning, but I decided against it. I decided I wasn't going to bother. It's like 5 a.m. Yeah, I think I'm streaming to a lot of people in the States here, if I'm not mistaken. This will be the early bird for you. Or, well, it's the early bird for me as well, but it's 10 o'clock, not 5. So props to you for being awake. Oh, he's from San Francisco, that's it? All of that, they've got Queensland in, California. Hey-oh! That's it. My arm on my spectacle is broken. Should I take it into my spec-savers to get fixed? I don't know, they could chop your balls off at Specsavers, but yeah, I wouldn't advise getting any animal or person fixed at Specsavers. No, yeah. I don't know, you'll probably have to pay for it. Tell them I sent you, you'll be fine. Cool. Right. No, that was, like I say, I was talking that little rant there about that game. The good rant. It was a good rant. I was hyping it up. Hopefully, I think. Yeah, I don't know, an unbiased sort of fair review of it. But yeah, we're going to be playing some Cold Waters now. I think I've rambled on for long enough. We'll get you into the game. Let's see. We had a fucking, like, I don't know. I think I should clip it as a highlight, just so you can go, oh, that's what he was on about. Because the last combat situation of the stream yesterday, we were fighting an alpha class that was using his creep motors, like the tiny little propellers, so that he doesn't have to use his main engine. And we got to within like 1 kilometre of him, like 1,000 yards, tiny distance. And we fired a torpedo, and he fired like 4 at us, and we fired 2 at him. And there were like 6 torpedoes in this 1 kilometre squared area. And we managed to pull some sick evade and raise depth and get like this hard turn, drop a mobile submarine simulator and a decoy, and we managed to just slither away. It was absolutely brilliant. That was probably especially on elite difficulty, that was probably my best evasion yet. Like, I've played this game for a combined amount of 52 hours, if Steam's to be believed here, and that was by far my best evasion. That was quality stuff. So let's load up the game. I'm going to move stream chat over to my other monitor. I'm actually getting my room refurbished early next year, which is nice, which isn't actually a million miles away. We're already on the 25th of September. Like, Jesus Christ, the 25th? Like, where did the year go? Where did the year go? It's fine. I don't want to be that guy, but I think tomorrow we're going to have to put the Christmas songs on stream. Just to annoy some people. But yeah, no, honestly, the year's getting on, it's racing along, and I think by sort of February, March, I'll have my new room sorted out, which means obviously this monitor can go in like a cupboard or under a desk or something like that, or maybe it can stay on top. I haven't decided yet. And we're getting everything ripped out, getting some nice stuff put in, all of that. So yeah, that should be cool. Am I still on the world's shitty? I am still on the world's shittiest desk. It's not really been a case of, it's more of a case of do people have time to do it? I mean, I've got to be, off for a portion of it. Got to get like a decorator and stuff in, stuff like that. So it's taking, the bureaucracy of the world is taking a little while. So let us tab into Cold Waters. The scene window should snap to it. There we go. Cool. So I think the scene's all locked. That's going to be fantastic. Superb. That is rather good. Now, I believe I didn't fix the problem with the... I just remembered there was a bug with the donation thing, wasn't there? That if you posted a really long message, it sort of clicked off the screen. So I'll try and fix that another time. Or maybe, I don't know, tonight. Or after the stream, perhaps. Can't obviously fix it now. I don't know, we do a lot of live bug fixing, but that's taking the Michael slightly too much, I feel. Right, so we were playing a campaign. I don't even remember what we called it. We called it New Save, didn't we? New Save in the campaign. These are just like different test ones that I have just with, you know, testing out various different strategies and things like that. Because yes, that is a thing in Cold Waters. Let's load our save game. Now we should be on the strategic map if I'm not mistaken. There we go. So let's go to the briefing quickly just to jog my memory on what we're doing, and then we'll move to our combat site. This game is on my wish list, but I need more info. So I'm very happy to see me stream it. Very, very well, Speak Easier. What I would say is that it's quite a tough game. I think if you play it on the lower or the normal difficulties or the lower difficulties or whatever you want to call it, the casual difficulties, you'll find that it's still hard, but it's not too bad. Like, it's not too bad. At the minute, there's a very limited selection of US NATO submarines that you can choose from. But the game is improving all the time. I believe there are going to be DLCs added. I think the next DLC, I don't know whether it's going to be paid for downloadable content or whether it's going to be a free content patch. I haven't a clue. But I think we're going to be getting like 1984 era Royal Navy submarines, things like the Trafalgar and so on and so on. So that could be quite nice to use, especially. I don't know how far they're going to take it. I don't know whether they're going to create a Russian campaign. There are mods that let you play as the Russians, but for some reason the mod that I was using to play as the Russians was a little bit broken. It was called the More Playable Subs mod, and it was some of the 3D models had gone a bit whack. And I was thinking, well, if the 3D models are bugged out, how much of the rest of the mod is bugged, and therefore is it even going to be worth playing even on the ones that don't have bugged 3D models, because maybe the campaign's broke? I don't know. Lots of speculation there, so I decided to uninstall it and just play vanilla. But the vanilla game's well enough. So let's have a look at our orders. You're about to get a nice loud blast from a bin lorry as it creeps up the road as well. Hope you got that to look forward to. So, tactical situation. Satellite Recon has spotted enemy cruise missile submarines and several attack submarines preparing to sail within 72 hours. It is imperative that these SSGNs are sunk before they can strike at NATO convoys transiting the North Atlantic. No other friendly units are in a position to intercept the enemy in time. So we need to locate and sink enemy cruise missile submarines, which is quite cool. No, not the ice cream truck today. It's the other kind of ice cream. The other ice cream truck. So let's continue on course. So we're here to intercept enemy submarines. So we're back in deep water. I suspect these are them there in the Norwegian Sea. They look to be just about the same speed as us, so we're going to have to use wit and cunning to intercept them. There we go. Oh, a news bulletin. World News, the 6th of December 1984. Belgium falls. Shock and horror follows in the wake of the Soviet invasion of Belgium. Despite the heroic efforts by Belgium's armed forces, the sheer brute force of the ruthless communist intruders could not be stopped. Several newspaper editorials raised serious concerns regarding the war situation, asking if the Soviet war machine is likely to be stopped. A series of highly successful Soviet attacks on Allied military and civilian shipping is quickly draining the NATO war supplies in Europe. This may prove fatal for Western forces in a slightly longer perspective. So we've got a submarine group here. I'm going to intercept the one that's further away first. There we go. So I've intercepted a set of submarines. Captain, we have a new sonar contact bearing 205, designated Sierra 1. EXO reports that our depth is 600 feet, heading 212, and our speed is 20 knots. Local conditions are overcast, light air, very strong surface duct and very strong thermal layer holding at 146 feet. Okay, helm, bring us into 15,000 yards, and let's try and find them. Rig ship for ultra quiet running.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
So that's going to slow us down to 5 knots, and then we're going to begin scanning with passive sonar, although it looks like we've already found 2 contacts immediately. So as we slow down, their signatures are going to become a bit clearer, and we can begin designating the targets. So we know at least that they're submarines. As we come down to 5 knots. Okay. Conditions. Total water depth is off the scale. Thermal layers there, very quiet environment. Let's begin identifying the target. I don't think it's a delta. We've got a beam shining through on the mid to high band there, so we should try and line that up. A Charlie 2. This is an SSGN, so no, that line doesn't quite meet the high band. It's very close, but see, doesn't quite meet. That meets. It could be an alpha. No, because the low band doesn't meet. Victor 3. I would say there was a high band signal there. So Victor 3 SSN, not an SSG. Let's see if there's any more contact. Victor 3 is our best guess.
Con sonar, Sierra
Headbutt
1
things.
is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay, let's identify Sierra 2. Let's bring it back to the top of the chart. This one's got this must be a slightly louder submarine because it is got a louder narrow band or high band signal, I should say. Doesn't quite match. Looks like we've got ourselves another November class.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay, so November, Sierra 2 is holding at about 550 feet. Sierra 1 is holding at about 800 feet. They are both moving in a northwesterly direction on course 314, holding about 10 knots between each target. We are currently 12,000 yards away. So this presents us with a unique opportunity. What I am going to do, I am going to bring us down to 1,000 feet. So dive, make depth 1,000 feet.
Make depth 1,000 feet, dive I.
There we go. This should be fun. You can hear the binmen. It's not often we get the binmen down here. The Birmingham City Council binmen have been on strike.
Contact bearing
Oh.
220, designated Sierra 3.
Contact Sierra 3, mark. Let's begin our designation phase. Scanning again. Looks like it could be another November. We found that November's travel impacts of 2, so we'll identify it as a November for the time being.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is classified as submerged submarine.
There we go. The Axeman. Thank you very much, mate. 6 quid. All goes to the pot. All hands to the pump. Thank you very much, mate. And we get Edith, our lovely secretary, to read it out for you. Wait for it.
I like you, man.
That was awful. Who told her to read? Jesus Christ. Remember, I'm the new alpha. I'm the alpha male, that's right. Victor 3 is making a course adjustment on the course of 335. We are currently sinking out. We're at 900 feet. First time watching. Well, hello. I'm going to call you Maverick. For that is your name. Right, target solution on the Victor 3 has improved. Let's check our detection. I believe they just identified me as a sonar contact. Low frequency passive just went to -1, which means they'll now identify me. They are much closer than we thought they were. They are currently holding at 5,700 yards. Target Victor 3. This doesn't look like a Victor 3, actually. This does look like it could be a Charlie. Charlie 1? No. It must be a Victor. Yeah, it must be a Victor 3.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
There he is. He's making a course adjustment on us. He's still pulling 10 knots though. We're only at -1 low frequency radar. The solution on the November 3 is a lot lower. So what we are going to do
1000 feet, dive high.
is drop down to the test depth of the submarine, which is 1,300 feet.
Depth 1300 feet, dive high.
And we're going to engage them from the deep. The lower we are, the harder our sonar is to track to, basically our signature is slightly lower the deeper we are. I thought I was the only one skiving work today. No crash down, it's my day off. I work on weekends, and even then I've got a little bit of work to be doing. But yeah, I thumb up to skiving work. Oh, that's terrible. No, stay in school, kids. But yes, thumb up to skiving work. It's the cheeky. Do you get paid sick? If you do, why the fuck not? Cool. Right, we'll be coming down to test depth. Let's keep it safe and go 1,250.
Depth 1250 feet, dive high.
Helmsman's leveling out the planes. Target within 5.5 thousand yards. Target solution. We are on the enemy's radar at low frequency passive. Very low target solution. They won't have identified me as a hostile contact yet, just that I exist. They just know that there's something in the water, not whether it's just a bit of wildlife or whether it's an enemy submarine. They don't know for sure, but when I fire, they will know for sure. What we're going to do, we are going to adjust course. Helm, bring us south to 180. Line it up, and tee it off.
Come left to 180. Helm aye.
Try and improve the target solution on Solution. November Sierra 3, that's it. Yeah, deeper than yo mom. Fucking 1,200 feet. It's pretty deep.
1250 feet, dive high.
We are sort of close to land, but yeah, not a million miles away. So what I'm attempting to do here is what is known as coming into the contact's baffles. I think I explained this a little bit on the last stream, but I'll just explain it again for any new kids on the block. So in
Helm, steady course.
Helm I, or con I. Basically, because of the noise created by your own engines and your own propeller, a sonar has a blind spot. The sonars are mounted at the front here, so the sonar has a blind spot about 60 degrees to the rear of the craft, which means if I can maneuver into this little fleet's baffles, get behind them and fire my torpedoes from there, the first thing they will know about it is when it's fucking right on top of them. So that's the plan. The Novembers, I don't believe, have detected me, which is nice. Oh, no, I don't want that. Keep ship.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Yeah,
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Ultra quiet again. That's right, so the low frequency passive array. Like I say, I'm a very tiny blip on the Victor 3's radar. He doesn't know that he doesn't know what I am, basically. I just could be a large school of fish at this point. So at the minute there's no immediate threat, but he's at least aware that I exist, which means, ladies and germs, if I fire a torpedo and I'm not in his baffles, he will fire one back at me because he will know that I'm an enemy contact then. Basically, and in these submarines, or at least in the 1984 submarines, modern submarines tend not to do it, is that you have a launch transient, basically a load of bubbles that are released when you open the torpedo tube and eject the round, if you like, the actual the missile. November 1, or Sierra 2, is making a very sharp course change. It is in fact a November class. He has slowed down to 8 knots. Strong course correction, no weapon fire. Scary stuff. So he slowed down to 8 knots there and then sped back. No, he's still holding 8 knots. It looks to me, there we go, there is the 3rd submarine. It is in fact another November. So it looks to me that what's happened here is that the other submarines have detected me. The Victor 3 is diving to try and get to a slightly lower depth to come on par with me, and the November appears to be turning around to point me with his chin sonar. Now, the sonar on the November isn't particularly strong, and I'm a very quiet submarine, so that isn't too bad. I would now comfortably say we are in the contacts baffles, so we're going to begin engaging pretty much now. So, Helm, bring us to 230.
Come right to 230. Helm I.
Any idea why Russian subs were so big? I have a theory about war vehicles and failing superpowers, but they just build stuff bigger. For the Germans, it was like the Mouse and the crazy bombers and the drawing plans for the Rat and everything like that. Like the ridiculous, like they just try and build these like wonder weapons that are like just like massive top trump cards. For the Russians, it was like submarines. They just built them fucking huge because apparently bigger was better. Or it could hold more missiles, and that was more of a threat to the United States or something. Whereas a submarine of totally normal size could unleash a devastating hailstorm anyway. Exactly, yeah, bigger is better. So the target solution of the November 2 has deteriorated somewhat, but we know where he is roughly based on previous coordinates. So we are now drifting comfortably in
steady course
to the Victor 3's baffle. So we are going to fire a weapon on the Victor 3. Passive homing. So on to fire control. Ready tube 3. Passive homing. Snaking search at level depth. Target bearing on the fire on the bearing of the Victor 3, bearing 266, range to enable 3,700 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, shoot tube 3.
Shoot tube 3. Aye, sir.
So they've immediately gone active. So they heard the launch transient. Looks like the November 1's chin sonar has picked it up. Victor 3 is now pulling 18 knots. We're only going to fire the one weapon thus far. That's a filthy lie. We're going to fire one on the November Sierra 3. So, ship ready, tube 1, passive homing, snaking search, level depth. There we go. So, fire on the bearing of Sierra 3, bearing 243, range to enable 8,300 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, shoot tube 1.
Shoot tube 1. Aye, sir.
Go, weapon away.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is cavitating.
Sierra 1 is raising up significantly. Okay, he is now at a very shallow depth, so we are going to bring weapon 3 into the fold and get him looking on a shallow search. We're also going to adjust the heading of the weapon, change to heading 276. Both homing is active currently. We are going to switch it back to in fact, yeah, we're going to switch them both to passively homing. In fact, no, we're detected. Fuck it, go active. Frankly, fuck it. Weapon 1 is still travelling. It's got a long way to go before it reaches the other November. Weapon 3 will be reaching its enable point very shortly. 200 yards, 100 yards, and then the weapon will begin its active search.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Weapon acquired. It's coming up to the correct depth. Turn it back on target. Go. It's struggling to acquire, but it will have it soon. There we go, it is fixed on a bearing. So the weapon has acquired. It is struggling to acquire the target, but it is at least tracking. Looks like the strong thermal layer is giving it some trouble. Rig ship for party, that's right. Change the enable point of weapon 1, bearing 250, range to enable 7,800 yards. This weapon's now chasing. For anybody wondering, this Victor 3 is cavitating, which means that he is creating a load of bubbles around his propeller, which is making him really easy to track on sonar. He's just trying to put distance between us and the weapon so that he has a better chance of getting away. However, the torpedo is moving much faster than he is. It's got 13, or well, closer to 14 minutes of fuel left in the tube, so he's got to run for a long time, and frankly, he doesn't have the speed. The November should be somewhere over here, but we don't know that for sure. There we go. Weapons still tracking. Bring the enable point of weapon 1 slightly closer to the November. Once we knock out this Victor 3, basically their eyes and ears are gone. This Victor 3 is a very good, or a very late Cold War submarine. And there's subs that can simply outrun a torpedo. The Alpha pretty much can. The Alpha pulls 42 knots, which is very fast, which means if you fire at an Alpha from like medium range and he gets to a head flank at full speed, your torpedo just won't catch him. It will run out of fuel before it does. There we go.
Noisemaker bearing 283.
So the enemy captain has dropped a noisemaker. It's something that confuses sonar warheads for a moment, but it's going to turn in and reacquire.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
There we go, weapons reacquired the target. It is now tracking. You may get in one more noisemaker.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
See if I can get that weapon back. Well, he's outmaneuvering it. Should go into a circular search for him now.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Weapon acquired. There we go. Not much he can do here. He might be able to outmaneuver it. Successful evasion from the enemy captain. Weapon's going to continue searching for him. It's got 11 minutes of fuel. I would be surprised if he can evade it for 11 minutes. Oh, target acquired on a different submarine. Weapon 3 is now tracking on the November that we can't see, so that's good. We are going to wait. For weapon 1 to find its mark. Now, I am going to steer this weapon briefly so that I can bring it on course, because it went into a circular search, which isn't very helpful. So we're going to bring it up to speed. It's got 11 minutes of fuel left in it, and now the other November is the target. We're now chasing Sierra 3 as well. So basically, the Victor 3 captain just dumped a torpedo on his buddy. Now, the reason we're not shooting another torpedo is because we only have 2 wires on this boat, which means we can only control 2 torpedoes at a time. I can fire a third, but it will be a dummy, and it will be just using its default firing coordinates, which means if I have to adjust it, then I can't. So that's why I'm just firing 2 weapons for the time being.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
The weapon countermeasure homing. This weapon should pick up the Sierra 3 very shortly, so let's watch.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
There we go, weapon acquired.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
So the 2 weapons are now searching for targets.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2.
Right in the
bearing
face.
284. Contact breaking up.
Okay, so on the bearing of the Victor, we are going to fire another weapon. So, Tube 3, fire on the bearing of Victor 3 Sierra 1. Range to enable 7,000 yards, bearing 273. Ship ready, tube ready, fire tube 2, sorry.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Okay, we've lost the wire, which means the wire broke because the turn coming out of the nose of the ship was too sharp, which means it will be using its default fire coordinates. So we're going to release ship from ultra quiet and we're going to reload tubes 2 and 3. Weapon 4 here, or Tube 4, has a mobile submarine simulator loaded, which is basically a special type of torpedo that sounds like a submarine to enemy sonar, so people will fire their weapons at it instead of me. It's basically a decoy. Weapon 1 is tracking this November. He's trying to open up as much speed as he can, but there's still 9 minutes on the torpedo. Weapon 3 is green, which means it is not enabled, but we no longer have control over it. How's the November 2 doing? Well, it's beginning its long sink to the bottom. Basically, we hit it in the side, and if we haven't breached the crew compartment, then the crew will still be... well, some crew may still be alive in there, but at the very least we've breached the ballast tanks, which means it can't get enough air. There we go, it just crushed. There isn't an animation for that yet, but it just cracked like an egg. There we go, just wheel the chair in. Brilliant.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 263.
So the weapon is now close enough to the enemy November that he's dropping countermeasures. Let's switch to active search.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired. Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Weapon countermeasure homing. He's pulling a very good manoeuvre here. This is how you evade. You drive around your decoy and then you change altitude, or that's, well, depth. Something he's not doing. Weapon's going into a circular search.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Weapon has reacquired the target. Enemy dropped a knuckle
Con,
here.
fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Yeah. So a knuckle is when you change the direction of the propellers rapidly. Or change the direction of the rudder. Is he going to turn in on it? He has. Successful evade from the November. Weapon is going to continue into a circular search and come around.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
There's another knuckle.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
There you go. Going too fast. Can we turn in time? No, another evasion.
Con, fire control,
Oh no,
weapon
it's found him.
acquired.
Oh, he's in trouble here. Good night, God bless.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 261.
And then he takes on shitloads
Contact
of
breaking
water
up.
and then loses his neutral buoyancy and begins to sink out. He's on his way to the bottom. Victor 3 is currently legging it at shallow depth. This weapon is searching deep, so we would probably need to prepare to fire another weapon. We'll just speed up time and see whether this weapon... No, that weapon will not find him. So we need to come up to a head or yeah, well let's bring it up to 2/3.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Let's change our heading to the course of the Victor
Come
3.
right to 28.
Let's
Make
try and
turns for
just fucking close the
25
distance if we
knots.
can.
Maneuvering aye.
Let's see if I can get him to turn around.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
He's just trying to leg it.
Con, helm, steady course.
We're pulling 20 knots at the moment. I don't think we can discharge a torpedo at 20 knots, and we can't catch him
Make
because he's going
turns
faster
for
than us.
15
So we got to fire a
knots.
weapon on him.
Maneuvering
So,
aye.
snapshot on the bearing of Sierra 1, Victor 3, ship ready, tube ready, fire tube 3.
Ship 2-3. Aye, sir.
A torpedo can travel a lot faster than we can. Tell it to search shallow. And let's speed up time.
room, tube 1 ready.
We can catch this guy, but it's going to take a while. Go. The weapon's travelling faster than the Victor 3. It's just, does the weapon have enough fuel? It should do. Making a course adjustment. So is the torpedo. Right, and head him off. We're kissing the apex here. Why did we just come out of...
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
He turned around on us. I reckon the enemy's just launched a weapon our way because it just for some reason took us out of big speed. What's going on there?
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 306. Con sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 305.
Right, so he did fire a weapon at us. He
Make
did.
turns for 25 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Right, so he's fired a torpedo at us, so let's raise depth.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Lost the wire. Hopefully that will find the victim.
Passing 1,200 feet. Passing 1,100 feet.
We've got to get higher, higher, higher all the
Passing
time.
1,000 feet. Passing 900 feet. Passing 800 feet. Passing 700 feet.
Weapon found us.
Passing 600 feet. Passing 500 feet. Passing 400 feet.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Torpedo found us.
Passing 200 feet. Passing 100 feet.
Now we go back down again.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bear.
Passing 100 feet. Passing 200 feet.
Got a little bit of evading to do.
Passing 300 feet.
Our weapon's on a snake.
Passing 4.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Passing 500 feet. Passing 600 feet.
I'm going to turn in on the torpedo.
Con.
See if I
Passing
can't
700
get past
feet.
it.
Passing 800 feet. Passing 900 feet. Passing 1,000 feet. Passing 1,100 feet.
We raise up again. Turning into the torpedo for a successful evasion. Oops. Otherwise we're in trouble. We're going to have to get ready to fire this MOS.
Passing 1,100 feet. Passing 1,000 feet. Passing 900 feet.
Close.
Passing 800 feet. Passing 700 feet. Passing 600 feet. Passing 500 feet. Passing 400.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Passing 300 feet. Passing 200 feet.
Cavitating is the
Passing
propellers on the
100 feet.
bubbles here. Broke surface, that's fine. Just trying to stay above the torpedo at the moment. So we're going to use ballast tanks to bring us back down.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
So our weapon did not find the Sierra. Did not find the victim. Enemy torpedo has gone into a snaking search below us. Bring it down to a head 1/3, 5
Make
knots.
turns for
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Oh, weapons found us again.
Make turns for
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Now searching shallow, so we've got to go deep.
Passing 100 feet.
Make a knuckle at this speed.
Passing 200 feet.
Oh,
Passing 300 feet.
get some speed up.
Passing 400.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Passing 500 feet.
Full rudder. Oh, there we
Passing
go.
600 feet.
Ran out of fuel. Bring us to a head 1/3.
make turns for 5 knots. maneuvering aye.
Turn us in on the target.
Come left to 304. Helm aye.
Make depth
Con
1200
sonar
feet.
regained contact on.
Make depth 1250 feet. Dive aye.
Ooh. There we go. We should just slink
Con
off his.
maneuvering.
We should
Turn
slink
for
off his
5
radar now.
knots.
Victor 3, moving away from us. Chances are he's just trying to escape. Yep. So we're gonna have to leave him. Victor 3 has escaped. Excellent initiative. However, this was not your mission target. Just as well, really. We've got to chase these guys down here. There's some more guys trying to transit the North Atlantic. We've got to find them before they get there. Ah, they're up there. Shit. They snuck past us. They're going to break out. We're not going to get there in time. Maybe we can intercept. No. Doesn't look like it. No. Aiming in the dark. Looks like they broke through. Went through the Denmark Strait, where we were sort of hanging around south of Iceland. They're still up at the Denmark Strait, but I doubt it. There we go. Further search deemed unproductive. New orders sent on this downlink. There we go. News bulletin. 9th of December 1984. Subs attack. Several transatlantic convoys have suffered attacks from enemy submarines in the North Atlantic. Silent and nearly undetectable, these attacks continue to inflict major, irreplaceable losses. Rescue efforts have been hampered by poor weather in the region. A NATO spokesman admits Soviet submarine attacks are a major thorn in our side, and analysts predict that consistent loss of NATO convoy shipping along with disruptions to transatlantic convoy crossings in general will be the tipping point of the war towards a favourable Soviet outcome. There we go. So, we lost them. You might want to add a now live bot. Yeah, that's a good plan. So, intelligence has discerned, this is our new objective because the submarines got away. So intelligence has discerned a pattern 2 movements of enemy at-sea replenishment tankers and tenders. A small enemy force including 1 or 2 of these ships is expected to sail from Murmansk shortly for a rendezvous somewhere in the Greenland Sea. You are ordered to find and sink this group. You may also get a chance at the enemy warships this group intends to support, but the tenders and tankers are the mission target. So these are surface contacts that will be somewhere in the Greenland Sea, up here. So, we've got to go up to the Greenland Sea here. We only have 3 Mark 48 torpedoes. Here we go. The Netherlands overcome. Shock and horror follows in the wake of the Soviet invasion of the Netherlands. Despite heroic efforts by the Netherlands armed forces, the sheer brute force and ruthless communist intruders could not be stopped. The Warsaw Pact offensive is pushing a severe strain on NATO forces. Analysts agree that NATO front lines may be dangerously close to breaking up. NATO fleet operations have failed to meet mission objectives in vital sectors of the Atlantic, leaving coastal areas and shipping lanes dangerously exposed to Soviet aggression. See you later. So we're after these replenishment tankers and tenders, somewhere out here in the Greenland Sea. So they're sailing from Murmansk. We should see them shortly. We're going to try and avoid enemy ASB fleets. One's coming over us now. We're going to get detected now. We're alright. Let's wait for him. That's gone right over us. Right, enemy ASB fleets. This is interesting. So, weapon stores. We only have 3 Mark 48 torpedoes, and those are the ones we have loaded. So, we need to use UGMs to kill the targets, which is slightly interesting, because we do not have much going for us. So let's raise the radar mast, or raise the scope, sorry.
Down scope.
Nope, get it up there. Right, so let's rig for low light. Let's bring us up to periscope depth.
Make depth 4-5 feet, dive high.
And the bearing of the contact is... Give myself a moment.
Con, dive at 4-5 feet, dive high.
105. No visual on the bearing of the contact. They're very far away then. Clear weather, but I have no visual. Nope, nothing at all. Right, let's fire 2 UGMs. Let's reload tubes 3 and tubes 2 for UGM fire, and then we're going to launch 2 UGMs on the target bearings. Let's point the target.
Come left to 101. Helm I.
Raise the ESM mast. Try and improve our target solution. Nope. Sierra 1 has been upgraded to Master 1. Let's try and identify them at the very least. So, we're after ships. So, let's see which ASB ships we've got. We've got a Eudaloy.
Con sonar, Master 1 is classified as escort.
These are all subs. And a cash-in from the looks of things.
Con sonar, Master 2 is
Lower the ESM mast.
Here we go, so we're rigged for dive. The first one is just coming up now. Interesting. So they're using medium frequency sonar, except for the Eudaloy, which is using much better stuff, basically. I can't outrun these ships,
Helm, steady course.
so I'm going to have to fight them. So I'm going to use at least 1 torpedo, and I think, based on what they have, we're going to see what we need to do. So the cash-in's coming right for us. They have medium frequency radar, so the cash-in is the less of a threat. The Eudaloy, however, is dangerous. So we're going to launch a torpedo on the bearing of the Eudaloy, I think. So dive, make depth 200 feet.
Make depth 200 feet, dive high.
All of the stuff in red means that it's anti-submarine. All of the stuff in black cannot target submarines. So the AK-100 deck guns and the 30mm CIWS cannot target our ship. However, the cash-in does not have the same thing. So, basically, the 30mm CIWS system are basically those... Do you know those minigun anti-aircraft systems? You know, the anti-aircraft guns that are literally miniguns. He's got those, which are going to shoot down my missiles if I shoot them at him. So that's why I'm going to use a torpedo to sink the Eudaloy instead. So let's come south slightly. Helm, make bearing 152.
Come right to 152. Helm I.
There we go.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
I'm just thinking about how we're going to approach this, because we really don't have the weapons stores. If we're fighting a large convoy fleet, we're buggered, basically.
0 feet, dive high.
We just have to try and make this work, though. So the cash-in's closing. Cash-in is at 18,000 yards, which isn't too bad. The Eudaloy is about there, though. So let's fire a torpedo on the bearing of the Eudaloy. Let's cut it short. Fire it at bearing 143.
Steady course.
Range to enable 12,100 yards. Ship ready, tube ready. Fire tube 1. He says, as he doesn't fire tube 1.
Shoot tube 1. Aye, sir.
There we go. So launch away. Weapon is set for passive search, or active search even, which we will set to passive for the sake of our own stealth. You can post a CIWS image, yeah, if you want to post an image of a CI, of a Swiss system, or a Kiwis. Launch transient but mostly unnoticed. Let's change our heading ever so slightly.
Come right to 168 Helm I.
Just try and improve our target motion analysis of the Udaloy. Sea-Whiz. Sea-Whiz, fair enough.
Con, helm, steady course.
That's a very interesting picture, to be fair. Speaks your own. The cash-in is now pointing me. He's coming straight at me, bearing 120. So that's annoying. Yeah, he's coming right this way. Must have heard the weapon discharge, perhaps. Hard to say. But we're going to have to sink the cash-in with a missile, which could be dangerous. But he's actually getting too close for me to not shoot him with a missile, so... Could fire a missile at him now. Yeah, he's getting far too close. Right, we're going to have to fire a missile at his nose here, so... Right, fire on the bearing of Master 2 cash-in with UGM. Ship ready, tube ready, fire. Tube 1 on bearing 100, 10,600 yards range to enable.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
I would have seen that. They're sending a helicopter. Dive. Take us down. No, they've deployed countermeasures. And it was shot down. They've launched a torpedo at us. Right. Take us very deep.
Make turns for.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
All the way down.
Con,
Passing 400.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Passing 500 feet. Passing 600 feet. Passing 700 feet. Passing 800 feet.
Helicopters
Passing
overhead.
900 feet. Passing 1,000 feet. Passing 1,100 feet. Passing 1,200 feet. Passing 1,300 feet.
There we go. All the way down. Can't use UGMs at this depth. Weapon in the water. Searching deep. Keep our speed up.
Con sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing 066. Con sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing 353.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3 weapons.
Con sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 031.
Strap yourselves in,
Con,
lads.
maneuvering, making turns for 25 knots.
Con, knuckle formed.
Knuckle formed. Listen, turn in.
Passing 1,300 feet. Passing 1,200 feet. Passing 1,100 feet. Passing 1,000 feet.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing 338.
Con, knuckle formed.
Knuckle formed.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 348. Con, sonar,
By the
lost
MOS.
contact, master 1, last bearing.
Passing 1,000 feet.
Oh shit, that's gonna hit home. I can't stop it. Ah, it broke our back. Right, can we abandon ship? Abandon ship. Sunk by UGM-1 torpedo. Came in on the back, had no decoys loaded, and we were travelling too fast to eject a Moss torpedo. Damn. Yeah. Basically, the problem with that then was that the command basically issued us an order to go and fight an enemy fleet, not even the anti-submarine fleet that we bumped into, but fight an enemy fleet with 3 torpedoes. Like, what could I do? I had to save my torpedoes for the escort fleet, and I got tracked and found by a USB fleet or an anti-submarine warfare fleet. So I had no torpedoes to engage them, so I had to use the UGM, which got me spotted, got me found, but hey-ho, such as it is. Defeat in Europe, Warsaw Pact forces moved to drive off the back of the rest of it. So that's the end of the campaign, really. Let's see the final thing. So, News Titans. Soviet naval forces have taken the initiative and now dominate the Atlantic and Norwegian Sea. Transatlantic resupply convoys struggle to make the journey, and the escalating loss of materials and men at sea only makes it a matter of time before they stop arriving altogether. Currently in exile, political leaders from the occupied territories have voiced strong concern over the risk of the Iron Curtain being brought further west. Fears of permanent occupation have sparked a refugee crisis, with hundreds of thousands fleeing NATO's contracting boarding areas. Oh god, look at that. Iron Curtain draws over Europe. Hundreds of thousands of refugees flee towards the English Channel as the red stain of communism, it's strongly worded, finally dominates the continent. In occupied Europe, it is rumoured that many from the middle class and academia are being sent to re-education camps in increasing numbers. The Soviet occupying forces have clamped down further on security in response to what they claim are actions of subversion by capitalist class enemies. Uncertain times ahead. Due to the economic and military strain of the recent conflict, analysts expect that despite the cessation of hostilities, the Cold War climate will return and indeed persist and escalate for decades to come. Detent? I don't know. Now seems a naive fantasy. The recent clash will no doubt require sustained future expansion of military expenditures and continuing domestic sacrifices by both Eastern nations and by Western nations that remain free. So we sank. It doesn't say. So, final outcome. There was little hope for you and your crew. The twisted remains of the USS Narwhal have come to rest at the bottom of the sea, and a lasting monument to all those brave souls who served aboard. There you go. Well, we couldn't overcome the Soviet Union. I'm not going to leave you with that. We're going to play another one. So, there we go. That's it. So we got sunk there. Bad idea to fire a missile at a submarine fleet. I wasn't entirely sure how bad it was going to be, but rip, like holy fucking rip. Like there was no way we were going to evade that many torpedoes. Not a cat in hell's chance. So we're going to play another campaign. We are going to play the 1984 again because the 1968 one, I have no idea how to shoot those. Yep, we're all communists and it's my fault. I lost it. We got these campaigns. I thought I disabled Iron Man. Is Iron Man disabled? It should be. Disable Iron Man. Yeah, Iron Man should be on, so there shouldn't be any saves. Let me go and delete my saves. Delete. Delete and delete. Lovely. Because they're all test saves anyway. So, let's start a new campaign. And what submarine do we want to play in? We could play in the modern one, the Los Angeles class submarine, which is actually very good. I think I don't know how much. It's got 4 wires basically, so if nothing else, that's going for it. But it is a very, very, very long submarine. As in, like, if an enemy torpedo comes at us, we just ain't evading it basically. So we could play in the Los Angeles, which is again a very capable submarine and the most modern of the nuclear attack submarines in this game. Oh god. Equally, we could play in the Skipjack, which is fucking terrible. Like, it only has 1 wire, which means we can only fire 1 torpedo that we can control. Let me block those. Let me just blow out the cobwebs. Just a sec. You aren't going to want to hear this. There we go. Right, I can kind of breathe again. So, Skipjack is the most manoeuvrable submarine in the game. That is correct. It is the most manoeuvrable submarine, and it's pretty fast. But it's hindered by the fact that it only has medium frequency sonars and towed arrays, and that it only has a crush depth or a test depth of 700 feet, no lower. So you can't go very deep in this submarine at all. It's an old submarine. It's from 1959. But has been somewhat modernised to allow for the towed array and etc. I know, 1 wire, 1 wire. It's got 6 tubes, but it's got 1 wire. But the game's pretty good, ATC. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, there's 4 wires on the Los Angeles attack submarine, which is very nice. We probably will play the Los Angeles. I'll read you the blurb, if you will. In service since 1976, this class was the first to be designed from the outset with a towed array, and the first to return to the 30+ knot speed of the Skipjacks. Originally designed to screen carrier groups against Soviet submarines, they combine high speed with excellent digital sonar and fire control. They are the most the most advanced quieting available. With the addition of the Harpoon and Tomahawk missiles, these boats are as capable against enemy shipping as they are against submarines. Their only drawback is their large size that makes them very expensive and less manoeuvrable and deep diving than the earlier Sturgeons. So the larger size means that they can't go as deep. Can you dumbfire torpedoes without firing a second Yes, you can dumbfire the torpedoes, but why would you? Like, why not get the wire? Go big, 4 axes at once. That will be awesome. Yeah. Fuck it. Should we play the Los Angeles? Can you play as the Russians in this? You can with mods, but I do not have those mods installed, as the mod that does it is slightly bugged at the moment. It's going to be fixed soon. The guy's pretty good with it. Los Angeles sounds fun. Cool, let's play in the Los Angeles then. So, new command assignment, effective immediately. You are hereby assigned command of Los Angeles class submarine USS Memphis, SSN 691. There we go. So, I believe we read all of these before. If you've watched the previous stream, you know what all of these are, so I'm just going to skip past them. You get the idea. Soviet invasion, yada yada, Reagan administration putting too much pressure on the Soviets, and then they finally invade. So, right, here is our first mission. Tactical situation. Intelligence has discerned a pattern to movements of enemy at-sea replenishment tankers and tenders. A small enemy force, including 1 or 2 of these ships, is expected to sail from Archangelisk shortly for a rendezvous near the Soviet coast. You are ordered to find and sink this group before it completes replenishment of enemy forces. You may get a chance at the enemy submarines this group intends to support, but the tenders and tankers are the mission target. Let's take a look at our inventory. So we've got the standard setup at the moment of 26. I'm going to keep this for the meantime. I might unload 2 UGMs. It'll take 3 hours, 5 hours in port. Let's cast off. So the Soviet coastline there. We've got to get into the Barents Sea. Deep into the Barents Sea. The problem is, as you can see from the map there, that the Barents Sea is quite shallow for what it's worth. Right, I don't know whether we'll make it in time. I think we will, but no. Oh, no, we bumped into a contact. We have a new sonar contact bearing 60, designated Sierra 1. Our depth 600 feet, heading 134. Speed is 20 knots. Local conditions are broken. Light breeze. No surface duct and no thermal layer. Close to 10,000 yards. And rig ship for ultra-quiet running.
Rig ship for ultra-quiet.
Okay, sonar, take a sounding. Water depth is 881 feet.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 059. Designated Sierra 1.
Okay, helm. Bring us down to 5 knots, and we'll wait for their sonar signature to clear up. Yeah, his Star Wars program, yeah. That's the only thing you remember about it. Go. Oh. So, as you see, compared to the previous submarine, this is a very long boat. So, sonar contact has cleared up. Let's begin our search. Looks to be some kind of submarine. But we've got a Victor 1 SSN.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Victor 1 is a semi-noisy submarine, test depth of 1,300 feet, crew 110, 92 meter submarine, 6,000 tons, low frequency passive sonar, and a snoop tray radar, which means it only has passive search. It has set 65 torpedoes. Let us turn in slightly on the target, as it appears to be travelling in a northwesterly fashion.
074, helm aye.
It is currently pulling 10 knots. We are -6 on the low frequency radar. Target solution is 51%. Longboat! Yep, Viking triggered. Oh. Well, we're making good time at least. So we're going to be turning into the contact's baffles. Again, I don't want to turn to him directly, but just enough so that the solution here can improve. We have his heading, and we're going to just drift into his baffles slowly but surely. Signature remains at -7, and apparently he does have an active sonar, but it doesn't say that he does, because he has a low frequency active
Steady course.
setting. So that's cool. By crew of 110, that means there's 110 people on that boat. That's correct. They're much larger than they look. It's a 92 meter submarine. Just give that consideration. Actually, if you go onto Google and actually Google Victor 1 submarine and look at it in Google Images, you will get a sense of scale. Like, submarines are not, these Cold War era submarines are not small. Like, they're not small at all. And that rhymed. I'm about to kill 110 people, that's right. Yeah, rig for mass murder. Is the distance to your closest neighbour. So target solution has increased to 85%, and we will be finalising shortly. We are going to fire a weapon from the darkness over here with tube 1. So let's have a look. Fire control ready. Tube 1. Aim on the bearing of Victor 1 Sierra 1. Bearing 030, range to enable. We're going to go 3,500 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, fire tube 1.
Shoot tube 1. Aye, sir.
He's
Con
immediately gone
sonar,
active.
Sierra 1 is cavitating.
Weapon away. No launch transient from the target. He's just immediately began to turn. Low frequency active sonar should be revealing our position at this range, so he knows where we are. But has to immediately go into torpedo evasion because the torpedo's too close. Go. So we've set the weapon to home actively. We're going to get it to raise up slightly. Yeah. Now it's going to chase. Let's set it to active search. This is our Mark 48 ad cap high-speed torpedo.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Weapon has acquired the target. He's just trying to haul ass as fast as he can. But unfortunately, this torpedo is a lot faster than his. You'll see it race in from behind him here. Where is it? There it is. Ping, 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 ping. He's pulling 32 knots, which is pretty good, but unfortunately, he can't outrun it. These torpedoes just travel too quickly, so he's going to go to countermeasures very shortly and try and drag it out for as long as he can. But I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. Basically, we're safe from him at the moment, but because he has to travel so fast, he physically can't launch his set 65 torpedoes. He physically can't launch them. He's going too fast. He can't eject them out of the tubes, which means he is in pure run mode now. He's trying to just get away. That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to fucking leg it, basically. But sadly the torpedo's faster than he is, and there's no way he's going to be able to evade it for 13 minutes. He's fucked, basically. So we're just gonna watch as 110 people sink to the bottom of a fairly shallow ocean.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 017.
So the captain's switching to countermeasures and evasion rather than just opening distance. I am gonna wheel back in my chair and put me feet up and watch the show. Yes.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired. Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
What's the range of that torpedo? Well, I couldn't tell you the exact range, but I can tell you that it has 13 minutes of fuel remaining. TTR is time to run, which means once that expires to 0, the torpedo explodes, as not to just keep going and attack a fishing village somewhere. So, successful evasion on his part first of all. It's in a circular search, which means he's got to try and open some distance from it. They manoeuvre very well, the Victor
Con,
ones.
fire control, weapon acquired.
Weapon acquired.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Weapon countermeasure homing.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 017. Contact breaking up.
So just stabbed him right in his side there. Luckily for him, though, the escape depth of the ship is about 600 meters. Considering he was only at about 100 there, that's fine. Probably a lot of the crew, if there are any crew left inside, I imagine the torpedo and the flooding killed a few. They'll probably be able to escape in through the escape hatches, wearing the escape suits. It's what's so strange about seeing torpedoes do that? So strange seeing torpedoes doing this shit after doing Silent Hunter. Yeah, doing the tracking. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is 1984, not quite the Second World War. Down to the bottom he goes. Right, let's reload Tube 1, speed up time while we do it, and then we'll call in and name it as a mission success.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Leave combat. Enemy engaged. 1 Victor 1 class sunk. Weapons remaining are 17. Excellent, but this was not your target. Oh, we found another thing straight away, immediately. So, let's close that off. New sonar contact bearing 6-5, designated as Sierra 1. EXO reports our depth is 600 feet, heading 114. Speed is 20 knots. Local conditions: storm, high wind, strong surface duct with a thermal layer of 244 feet. We're going to close to 10,000 yards.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Rig ship for ultra quiet running. Background noise is 115 decibels. It's loud as fuck, which means passive sonar is not going to help us here, or it will just barely help us. Basically, there's so much interference across the band that yeah, passive listening basically on passive sonar isn't going to do anything basically. Yeah, so that isn't gonna help us here. So what we're going to have to do is switch to active search, which could get controversial very quickly. So we are going to load one MOSS, a mobile submarine simulator. And essentially what this is a decoy. It's not a decoy, but it's a type of decoy. Basically, I fire this torpedo, and any torpedoes that are pointing at me think that that torpedo is a submarine, basically, and so they will target it instead of myself. Would you torpedo a whale? How much money are you giving me? Yeah, fucking torpedo. Yeah, that's very much. What is making so much noise that you're picking up 115 decibels? The fact that there's a storm at the moment is creating an absolute crap ton of ambient noise, which means if your submarine is running quieter than 115 decibels, and most of the submarines do, 130 is very quiet, or, well, it's not that they run less than 115 decibels, it's that I only have 30 decibels difference, which means it's difficult to distinguish what is a submarine and what isn't. So, once the mobile submarine simulator is loaded in tube 4 there, we are going to switch to active search, which is the classic sonar pinging, which unfortunately will reveal our position, but will hopefully trick the enemy into firing, and we will then get a bearing to the target. Because at the moment there is an enemy submarine somewhere in the water, and we may never find him. So we're just going to have to go looking for him. We could be fighting 2 or 3 submarines here. This could end horribly.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Total water depth is 684 feet. There we go. Shit is interesting to listen to. Fair enough, yeah. So, sorry, let me just... I'll tell you what isn't interesting to listen to. Me blowing me nose. Give me a minute. Oh. Ugh. I've got 2 nostrils full of retail work there. It's just ill. I've got to do some work in someone else's garden later today as well, which should be fun, I think. Yeah, it'd be all right. Right, so everyone, clench your anus, because we're going to active search, which means I'm about to light the fuck up like a Christmas tree. Anything in the ocean is going to know my bearing, which means that basically people are just going to shoot a weapon along my bearing line. So what we are looking for on this mini-map here is that I am going to be pinging out with active sonar. We are looking for a return. So we are looking for an enemy ship that strobes me with its own active sonar. So that will be in the form of a yellow line bouncing off the hull. That means an enemy active ping has just bounced off of our ship, and therefore they know where we are, kind of thing. So we have to act accordingly. So, ship ready, activate, active search.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
3, 2, 1. We're waiting for a reply. There we go. Fire on the contact of the bearing range to enable 500 yards. Switch to passive search.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
Let's extend that range out. So somewhere on that bearing there is a submarine that pinged us with active sonar. And we're sending a torpedo out on a snaking trajectory to try and find him. So it's going to... Oh! Enemy launch transient back on us. So the enemy's fired a torpedo our way. Right. All ahead flank. 33 knots.
Turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Helm, set course 196.
Come right to 197. Helm aye.
Yeah, I could do. I might do some of that after this mission here. I'll come on Rising Storm for a bit.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay, weapon acquired on target, raising depth.
Con, helm, steady course.
We are now pulling 25 knots. Let's make another course adjustment. Helm, set course 234.
Come right to 234. Helm aye.
Con, fire control, we've...
Con, helm, steady course.
Steady course. Incoming torpedo. You see that back there? That little weird mass on the screen? That is the wash created by enemy torpedo blades. Coming in. What is a launch transient? The launch transient is the bubbles. So you see, well, you can't really, but I'm hoping the 1080p stream here is going to help. But there are these tiny little hatches here. Those are the torpedo tubes. Basically, the torpedo tubes are full of air to allow you to eject the torpedo, so to launch it. Basically, when you do so, it creates a lot of bubbles, and that is a launch transient. That creates a lot of noise. Bubbles are noise. Oh, £10 ping. Thank you very much, Witty. Cheers, mate. We're gonna get Edith, our our bloody secretary, to read it out for you. There we go. Strap yourself in. All that work. Here it comes.
Ping.
Lovely. Fucking beautiful. Holy shit.
Con,
There we go.
Maneuvering, making turns for 3 knots.
Explosion on the bearing of the contact. Unknown designation, but contact is taking on water and venting some kind of gas. We can assume it's oxygen, so that we can probably say that we've definitely breached the ballast tank at the very least, because of all the air that's escaping. So it's sinking out to the bottom. There he goes. Beautiful. Now we just need to make sure that we don't get found by this torpedo. Looks like he adjusted the course of it, perhaps. No, it's gone into a circular and or snaking search, which means as long as we keep our speed up, we'll be okay. Excellent. You actually heard him launch in 115 decibels. Holy. Yeah, well, no, I saw it launch. I saw the bubbles. So you see that back there? That's where the enemy submarine is at rest. I saw the torpedo coming in and verified it. I believe it's a Set 80 or some kind of, or maybe a test weapon. No, it's not a TEST. It's not the right one. So it looks like it's set. Cool. So, I know it's slightly controversial. So, vessels nearby. There's still another ship. Interesting. So, long-range sonar reports that there is still another contact in the water. Helm, bring us down to ahead 1/3.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Yeah, there's a third. It's a shame that this game doesn't have a first-person character. If you really wanted to play this game hardcore, this is the view you'd have. You'd just play the entire game in the sonar view, like this, which would be accurate, I guess. But yeah. So we're gonna point back north in the direction of the sinking ship. Set course 001.
Come right to 001. Helm aye.
In an attempt to find whichever ship is out here. We're going to switch back to active.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Here we go. So we're now... Oh, enemy launch transient from the rear. Fire on the contact of the launch transient. Bearing 076, range to enable 2,600 yards. Ship ready, tube ready,
Con,
fire tube
maneuvering,
3.
Making turns for 5 knots.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
That is on a snaking search. We need to speed back up again and get out of its
Make
way.
turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
It is.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
No, it's not all done via voice. I'm just...
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
We lost the wire. Lost the wire. So the weapon that we fired there is now entering a snaking search. It is enabled as well. Now, the problem with losing the wire is this. This torpedo, when you have the wire, knows not to point back at my ship because it's connected to the targeting computer on board the submarine. Now it is free of that and no longer recognises me as a friendly contact, just as a contact. Which means if by some jammy luck the bastard manages to get... Oh. That's not right. Oh no, it is right. Let's start singing out on active again. Reload tube 3.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
I'm not convinced that that wasn't that weapon that they did before, so let's see if we get a yellow ping from another vessel. Let's slow down. It's to ahead
turns.
1/3.
Make turns for 5 knots.
So the red ping is
Maneuvering
the
aye.
enemy torpedo that we just let away. We should eventually get a reply from this. He's just lying in wait. Perhaps I do need to peek above the layer. Okay, it's a good suggestion. Okay, dive.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
Can't I? Okay, dive. Set depth 200 feet.
Make depth 200 feet. Dive high.
This is going to raise the planes. Fill the ballast tanks with air and put our neutral buoyancy in the positive so that we raise. Oh god.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
Basically, yeah, when you flood a ballast tank with air, it changes the displacement past something called the point of neutral buoyancy. And neutral buoyancy is how a submarine is able to stay underwater without sinking or stay on the flat, stay on level, a level course without going up or down. If you want to raise your neutral buoyancy, you pump air or flood the ballast tanks with air, basically, and that raises lowers in this case the water displacement of the ship, causing you to raise up towards the surface. Equally, if you want to sink, then obviously when you sink you're full of water, so you flood the ballast tanks with water and that causes you to lower. Not getting a reply from any of these vessels. Not an incoming weapon, nothing. Nothing. I'm beginning to wonder about the ship that we hit. Did we knock it out? Or is it still up? Not marked on our map. Could still be up. This weapon did not find the target. He's still pissing air. What exactly is that? Over there.
Come right to 010. Helm aye.
Let's go and check on this ship that we supposedly sunk. I'm curious now, did we actually sink the damn thing? Because it still says there's a ship nearby, and I'm getting absolutely no
Con
replies at
sonar,
all.
switching to passive search.
So maybe it's just resting on the ocean bottom and it isn't actually sunk. In that case, it could be a typhoon or some kind of weird class.
Passing 300 feet.
Oh yeah, Hosen, yes, Hosen's just, had the same revelation that I have. Right, well let's bring it up to head
Make
2/3
turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering I.
and see what's going on.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for
Passing 400 feet.
So let's get 2-1 ready to fire, just off of our port side. Range to enable is only going to be 6,000 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, fire 2-1.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Just the angle of attack slightly. Got to get it pointed at the ship that we're looking at here. Like that. There we go. This is that enemy torpedo from earlier. It's still snaking. Looks like a test. Oh no, sorry, a USET of some sort. But this is running to the target. It must still be just resting on the ocean floor then.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
It's acquired the target. This is interesting. Look how close it is to the ocean floor. We hit it again. Nothing.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Passing 500 feet.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Passing 600 feet.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Con, torpedo.
con maneuver.
Passing 600 feet.
Hello?
Con sonar, we are cavitating. Con sonar, switching to active search. Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
What is this submarine? Tell me what it is. I need to know.
Passing 600 feet.
Tell me what it is. Must know.
Con, less than 50 feet below the keel.
Raise up. It was a kilo. Sorry, I've just enabled the 3D models. It's a bit cheatsy, but... And where is the other submarine? I can't leave.
Passing 600 feet.
I don't know. Should I... Look, I've got the 3D models on now, which means I can visually look around and try and find this submarine that's trying to fucking... trying to find me. Or we can just leave it off and just try and get away from the AO. What do we think? Should we keep the 3D models on just for the end of this? I don't think it's boiling water, Commissar. Keep it off. Keep it realistic. Okay. We shall disable 3D models.
Con sonar, new con sonar, we are cavitating.
Con, torpedo room, tube jammed on launch.
Look! Well, the fucking, it all went wrong then. Holy shit. The Sierra 1.
Passing 500 feet.
Well, Sierra 1 is that ship that's on the ocean floor there, so that's fine. I really don't know, like...
Con sonar, switching to active search.
I'm gonna have to go back to the lock and get myself repaired.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Con, knuckle formed.
Don't actually know.
Passing 400 feet.
I think there is something... I think there are some shenanigans here. I am on the beta branch, so there is stuff that might not work, but this is the first bug I've encountered. No, it's still nearby. I actually don't know. I haven't a clue. Just bail from the area. Okay.
Con, knuckle formed.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 263.
So Sierra 1 is the contact that's down there. Why does it keep saying we re-establish contact if it's... Maybe it is bugged. Maybe it's not dead. We'll find out as we run away here. Leave it running, leave it running. Leave it running, leave it running, leave it running, leave it running, leave it running. Just get really far, like really far away. See, look, if we get much further away, then there is an enemy submarine just following me. Right, how far away is that from the target? 13,000 yards. Let's get to 20,000. And if we get to 20,000 yards, it means there is a submarine behind us somewhere that is following us, that isn't shooting a weapon, for whatever reason. Right. Yes, there we go. Leave combat. So it was. Look at that! It was just damaged? Are you kidding? Yeah, that's bugged out. That's clearly... There's something wrong there. The Kilo shouldn't be able to take that much of a kicking. It's a tiny submarine. That's bizarre. Right, fair enough. Well, I think I'm going to go and enjoy... I'm not playing another one. Bugger off. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to just rotate games here slightly. I hope you enjoyed that little segment of Cold Waters. If you're new to the Cold Waters experience, we did a previous live stream yesterday, which might be worth watching, but I'm going to rotate to Rising Storm now. So, put this generic little card on there. Let me just create a Rising Storm scene. So, Rising Storm. 2, just a slight change of pace. Add the browser source, the Thorth, and screen for alerts, lock that. Add a game capture. Rising Storm 2, and that will be a game capture window. Then we shall load Rising Storm Vietnam. Then we'll play a few games of it. Oh, a little bit of sub-action. Rising Storm 2, what is a game? What is a game? Yeah, so it's just it's like the Battlefield of Vietnam, but it's like Battlefield Vietnam, only with less vehicles. Down there, lock that window in, load that up there, transition us to the black screen. Let's see if it loads up properly. Duke Gookum, I like it. Whenever it's ready to load. See if I can't get a spot on the server. It's probably already full, his server. Play, friends. No. Looks like he's just joining one. Bay City, this looks like the place. Cool. So, let me just edit the title of the stream to... No, I'm editing my profile banner there, don't want that. Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. Game change to Storm 2. Lovely. Right. Do I go on the old do diggle daggle? Do diggle dagger do? Yes, let's go on TeamSpeak. The fucker's muted. Right, let's play as some of those guys. And let's just play a gorilla. Gorilla with an AK. I think it's going to be a good way to go. You're going to see how horrible I am at games. So get ready. Because shit's fun, yo. We've got rapid deployment. I am not of sound mind to be playing a Rising Storm game at the moment. Like, I am literally, like, still asleep. But this will wake me up. Go home, GI. That's what you want. Let's see if anyone comes through. Wait for my stamina to come back.
Okay, Rolo's moving up. Who else is here? Nymphoman moving up. Oh! An RPG right above me.
What the fuck?
Server steadily filling up. 23 out of 64 now. Sure, loads of spots.
Shut up.
Hey, man.
You're alright, mate.
How you doing? You alright?
Yeah, pretty good.
You joining in?
Yeah, I'm already on. I'm shooting
Americans.
Americans.
Really? Oh, you're shooting Americans? Go away, you Vietnamese, whatever.
Go
something.
home, GI.
Whoa! A GI just turned into jam.
You made a Vietnamese noise there.
Whoa. Oh, okay, I'm not going that way. Fuck that. Oh, no, I'm getting shot in the bum. Oh, God. Fuck. Fucking hell. Right, so you're on the Vietnamese.
I'm a filthy Viet Cong.
Yes. Traitorous bastard.
Or are we MVA? I think we're BC.
Right.
I am camping like a filthy bitch.
As well you should. You're defending. Right.
So I think I'm the only person on this north side. So this place, hold here. Napalm! No, it's okay.
Did our napalm just kill only allies? Oh no, there's some enemies.
We got a singular enemy.
Ah, Christ.
Maimed by a single man.
Okay, it's 25 out of 64 players now. So the server's called gamershost.d with auto updater for anybody who's got Rising Storm and wants to join. Feel free, the more the merrier.
That's it.
So long as you don't shoot me, that's fine.
We'd hope so.
Yeah, you're not allowed, in fact, we're making a ruling. You're not allowed to shoot me.
Not allowed to shoot on board.
No, not allowed to shoot me. If you see me on the field and you shoot me, you get banned. Like forever. Yes. Oh, Christ. The moment I stuck my head out. Got fucking wiped. Okay, I'm going to be somebody who isn't a point man. Going to be a grunt. Actually, wait a minute. Ooh. Okay then. Da 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 da. Da da So how are we doing? So the south side's not going too well, nor is the north side. No sides are going well. Okay. Hi there, gamer heretic. Hi there, man. I can assure you, you will be disappointed. Yeah. Ah, we got artillery. No, we don't have artillery. There's no artillery coming. At all. No artillery.
No, that's our barrage.
Okay, you've got a barrage? Okay.
Run away. Stop ghosting.
Yeah, we're ghosting each other. Oh, God. Oh, no, it's right above me. I've got to get under cover. Ah! Holy shit. Good lord. Only just made it.
Jesus Christ.
That's an interesting spooky from our commander.
Yes.
So right now, speaking to the chat, there's a plane performing a pylon turn with some machine guns spraying down bullets onto a single point. That sound you hear.
Okay, people are saying this is a Cold Waters DLC. So, Rising Storm.
Yeah.
How are you? I'm pinned here, pretty much.
You're pinned?
Yeah,
Fucking
I'm
getting
pinned.
pinned the fuck it. Ah! Damn it. God damn it. Shot by our own spooky.
Oh, brilliant. It's working for us, not for you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Christ. Go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, right, we do need smokes. Der Schmidt, thank you, Der Schmidt. Thank you, man. Sorry, I should mute myself.
Flamethrower on the right hand side. Saw a guy up in the roof. TC needs to get his tunnel down.
Fuck. Oh, wow, RPG'd. Christ. Fucking hell.
And down.
Oh, commander spawned us. Okay. Okay, 46 out of 64. Lovely.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Whoa. Yeah, we gotta push. Ah!
Leave it on to you guys.
No, the tunnels are fucking held really, really well. Yeah, we definitely need more smokes.
He is a level 3 mage, that's right.
Yeah, you're the level 3 mage.
And the level 3 wizard.
Was it level 3 or a level?
It was a level 3 match. Level 3 Margaret.
I've just got to get closer and just try and find somewhere to take cover while the guys advance. Okay. Oh. Bad sound. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Wow. Shot. Right, cool. I'm in position. I just need my squad members to go on me. Where are my squad members? They're moving up. Yeah, I need to stay back. Got one.
Click, click, click. It's a bad sound.
Push in. pushing. Oh, grenade. Oh, fuck. Got me. They're holding well. Okay. Yep, friendly fire is often a thing, Phil. Wait, no, yeah, sorry. It's hard to sort of, hard to tell where people are in the suppression and the smoke and shit. Fog of war. Smoke's out. Moving in. Assuming that was a hostile. Nice, that was a good napalm. Head down over here. Oh, my shot. No, they're holding it very well. Cool, 62 out of 64.
I've been
job done.
Promoted to squad leader, but I don't have a.
Alright. Oh, I get shot. Okay, put down a marker for our commander. Right, I've got to stay back, stay back. Hard cover over here. Okay, gotta get in. Come on, you guys gotta get in. What? Fucking, why is it? Where's this guy? Where's the radio? It's okay. Right, I just need to stay back at the spawn point and let them get in. Okay.
Oh shit, that was bad. That was a bad time to pull out a nade. I didn't think they were that close. Oh, that would have been an easy kill as well.
Pushing through in the road.
Yeah, I think people are being so cautious. People are sort of ebbing around corners slowly, and look, the guy's just standing around, just not. Come on, get in, go, just charge. No stopping, charge. Why is this guy standing next to me? I don't get it. What do the radio men do, Quebec?
The commander can use them as a means to call in air support.
So why is this guy just standing next to me?
Are you the commander?
No.
I really don't know.
In there, why the fucking look half the fucking. I don't get it. You're not attacking. Two of them just stand. Oh fuck this shit. Right, this is how you fucking do it. Just fucking push. Doesn't matter if you live or die. Does not matter. Right? It's irrelevant. This game. So many tickets. Push. They can't. Even if they kill you, they can't kill the two guys behind you. Oh god. Right. Yeah, they're just going to kill us. We're going to lose here if we don't, get in, take the point. Right. We can camp as much as we want when we're the defenders.
Oh, fuck, he's right on top.
Ah, Christ. Grenade, good nade. Squad leader.
Let's assume he's still up there and just nade.
Yeah, they're going to take a ticket advantage if we don't take this over soon.
Beaten with my own trick.
What do we do?
I threw a nade at an area that I thought there would be enemies, and then I ran to that area, and then an enemy naded me.
What?
Right, recon says watch south side. Oh, fuck me.
Is that you?
Yeah,
Bye bye.
you're inside.
Yeah, we're inside.
Shit.
Because I'm fucking pushing and no one else is. What? I'm coming in.
Just a sec, I just gotta go AFK for a second.
We're in. We're holding. Oh, not for long, they're throwing nades. Fuck, another one. Ah, I'm gonna die. Oh, missed. Oh, holy shit. Guy saved my life. Bye-bye. How many shots? Oh, wait, you're AFK.
They're in the tunnel, guys.
Just don't have enough people. Not enough people.
Lose the point.
No. We've got like 2 guys here, it's just not enough. No. There's not enough players. Oh, throwing nades now. Inside. Ah, Christ, they got me. You beat that hand,
Damn it. Got a flamethrower in down there.
yeah, we just get fucking hammered. Right. Hit. Okay. Wait, one more barrage. Yep. Hey, fine. Fuck it. One more barrage. Yeah, go. Wait for it, wait for it. Cool, done.
Oh, someone stood on my punji, which means they're down here.
Where was your punch? You punch in the tunnels?
Yeah, that kind of neck of the woods.
Oh shit, another grenade. Oh no.
Fuck you!
Oh, another grenade.
I don't know.
Too many grenades. Oh, it's another one. God.
I don't want to say I'm a one-man army, but
What'd you do?
I was just like, fuck it, I'm just running around throwing nades. I'm fine. King VC.
Oh man.
I've got the slantiest of all the eyes.
You can't say that. You can't say that. King BC slantiest of all the eyes. Right, what did you again? What did you say it was?
Sorry?
When you said your punchy got somebody, where was
I
it?
was in a non-disclosed. No, it's on the north side. In the
In the hedges.
No, it's in that. Do you know that tunnel bit on the north, that underground bit on the north side?
Yeah. Oh really? You got someone there? Holy shit. Nice.
Fuck me, so many VC are dead. Like, a lot in the dead chat.
Yeah, but you still got a sizable ticket advantage over us.
I don't even have to. I don't even have it on.
Oh, why are they all standing? Oh, God, I'm frustrated with this team. Nobody's fucking attacking. Get in there. Oh, it's a live nade. Oh, no. Fucking waste them. Just get in there and fucking waste them. Stop milling around outside the entrances looking at them.
Fuck me. Whenever you guys break through, I feel like I'm the only person actually stopping you from breaking through. Oh my god.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many idiots.
When we break in, I feel like I'm the only person actually fighting. Everyone else is holding the corner and hiding. Oh shit.
Fucking.
Finally, we're in.
Shit. Oh shit, I went for the bayonet charge. Oh, the commander's right there. Holy shit, though. The commander's just on the north side. Playing forward. Your commander's very close. I went and bayonet charged a guy, and I heard the commander calling in an airstrike, right? Like,
Oh, really?
like literally, it's just over my shoulder.
Yeah.
If only I'd turned the bayonet the other way, which means I drop a surreptitious, grenade up here.
Oh, don't hit the deck.
Oh, that was nowhere near me. That was absolutely nowhere near me.
Nowhere near you.
You've got way more
Lost
tickets
out.
than us. I don't know what you're on about. You've got nearly 100 more tickets.
Oh, sorry. Am I reading it backwards? Holy shit. Don't know how that's the case. We're losing wholeheartedly here.
But we've pushed
Oh,
you
Christ.
off of this bit again at least.
Right.
The dead body's moving still.
So up. Following squad leader in. Stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Stop, don't stop, don't stop. Oh, I ran into that one. Oh dear. I suck.
Shot down the Spocky.
Oh yeah?
Spocky function.
Oh, nice. Good aim. It's a bad aim. Well,
Fuck no! Help! I saw a guy in a window and I heard click click.
oh no! Didn't have ammo.
Yeah.
Crap. They still haven't fixed that fucking grenade bug.
It's not bug, it's feature.
Oh, Quebec!
Thank you.
You lucky bastard. 58 meters.
58 meters, my
58
on,
meters.
On fully automatic.
Where were you?
On the bridge.
On the wait, what? Like miles away? On the
absolute
rear
like
defences?
think. You know Mars. A bit past.
Right. We might be able to win if we just drain them of tickets as opposed to taking over territory.
Oh, I'm out of ammo again. Keep doing that. Have a pistol? No.
How did? Yeah, that's a good question. How did? Oh no, sorry. You were PMC. That's how we met. Someone asked how Quebec and I met.
Yeah, you fucking kept attacking my fucking house.
In your castle.
Yeah, see, this again, common misconception was that was the clan base. It wasn't. It was just mine. The clan base was in the cave. Like, fucking, it's my front door that everyone was shitting on.
Yeah.
After that first video, it was like, oh yeah, look, it's the PMC base. No, it's mine.
Well,
and
you were PMC.
I was playing fucking Hero as well at the time. That fucking stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, but so Quebec was PMC with his dummy friends.
No, not. Don't, you can't throw a spade at him. Get your grenade out. Oh, for God's sake. You gave me for team killing. When did I team kill?
Yeah, I could get it with that. I'm convinced there might be a bug.
You definitely will.
Oh. Why am I not spawning on squaddy? That's a good question, actually. I probably really should. He's in a great position.
Oi, fuck me.
Great position. Holy shit. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Airstrike. In fact, no, there's no airstrike.
There's no airstrike?
There's no airstrike.
Oh, right, there's no airstrike.
There's no airstrike.
No airstrike. Well, what's that then?
That's an airstrike. It's okay, because it's done more damage to us than good to you. Oh god, this is a fucking guy inside.
I think I... Oh no, 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 no. Go away from sea. I think I accidentally shot a trip mine. A buckshot. Oh, no, 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 someone's... Ah! Fucking the tower. Nice. That being said, they've done a marvellous job of holding us.
Guys, I'll give them to you. That's that.
What I'm talking about. Ah. No, no, it missed you, mate. It's okay. The people watching the stream are the people playing the game, you know? The people joining in.
Gang.
Ah.
Fucking, are you sure you're not Vietnamese? Are you going to hit me with the cramps and tell me that you're actually a short Asian guy?
That's still... I don't believe it. It's still bullshit. He's not a tiny Asian
is.
guy. He isn't.
He's got the
You
tiny
guys are all just fucking with me. I know you
Vietnamese
are.
mustache and everything.
I know you guys are just fucking with me completely. What do you mean after? What's that?
We got each other.
Oh! That's interesting. Ah!
Yeah, they know when Cramps is at work because a floor panel slides open and a Kalashnikov comes out. Oh no. Are we back? No? Okay. but the commanders spawned us in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, what is that about? Oh! What? Fucking hell, fucking hell. Come on, oh fuck.
To the guy in chat, I say that was in fact
Golden.
hacks mode.
Hacks mode. Oh, I really hope there was a VC. It was. Oh, ah! Nice.
No, not the shovel. Fuck's sake. He always gets the shovel out.
Ah. Yeah, squad leader was doing well there. Letting the rest of us. I think it was Rolo. Letting the rest of us get in there. God, fucking finally we took Charlie.
Alright guys, just 2 minutes.
What?
Just 2 minutes.
Right. Don't know why I threw that there. Fucking hell, took the entire game, but we finally took Charlie.
And the game's basically over, yeah.
Wait, is that 2 minutes till we lose?
I think that's, I don't know.
What does that 2 minutes mean?
I haven't a clue. 2 minutes, yeah, I guess 2 minutes till you lose, I guess.
Jesus Christ. Even though, I suppose, yeah, we did take forever. So all they've got to do is hide for 1 minute and 37 seconds. Yeah, we did a shit job of pushing in the middle there, I tell you. Grenades.
Fucking Captain Calamity.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Have a positive KD in this game. This is the thing. This game, it's not about your kill to death ratio. It's
about being meat in the war.
Yeah, like your deaths aren't even shown in the roster. Look, it's only your kills. That's how it's a personal valor is irrelevant. It's about conquest points and tickets for the entire team. If you're losing a shit ton of tickets for the team, but you're also holding a key angle to stop the enemy advancing, then oh fuck! Ah! That's playing that part of the broader thing, all part of something greater. Oh good god! Oh good god! Right to us. I've not seen that because I didn't look down. Is this it? Yeah.
Hey!
Fucking hell. They fucking held C like a motherfuckers. We just could not dig them out.
Cool.
But then again, just half of us kind of stood back and didn't rush.
Sadly, I have to bugger off now.
Oh, okay.
I do,
Take
yeah.
care, man.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks for the game.
Yeah, have a good one. You enjoy your day.
I've got some fucking gardening to do, so.
Gardening.
I know. It's not even my
gardening.
It's less gardening, but it's more just fucking like tearing it up to fucking make it look as bomb site as possible. We go ripping up a load of turf and old bushes and stuff like that. So
you should do what a gentleman who once lived near where I worked. He set fire to his garden to try and de-weed it or whatever.
Yeah,
and obviously it spread out of control.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's exactly what happens, really.
Just walk around with a fucking cigarette lighter and an aerosol can.
Yeah. Anyway, enjoy your day, man.
Yeah, see you later, mate.
Cheers for playing. Take care.
And yep, you guys on stream, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed Cold Waters. Hope you enjoyed that little sliver of Rising Storm 2. We won't play a huge amount of Rising Storm 2 because I know you come for the narrative gameplay and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little sliver. I actually performed slightly better on the stream than I thought I was going to. because usually I get fucked on Rising Storm. So yeah, sweet. Right, I have to go and literally go and decimate a garden, and then I'll be back for the evening stream hopefully. So yeah, thanks very much, and I'll see you then. Yeah, let's tune in for a nice, relaxed fucking Quebec stream, and it's for me swearing my ass off. So yeah, all right, see you later, guys.